Drew Watson, who's the athletic director at Southeastern University. And Drew, it's great to have you back on the show again. You've always been a wellspring of information, but you're a busy man these days because of, I mean, when you kick off a new semester, particularly at the beginning of the year, I just can only imagine what your office headquarters look like, scrambling and everything else. And I don't mean quarterback scrambling, I mean your staff scrambling.
Oh yeah, well thanks for having me again. It's always good to be here. We have over 500 athletes this year, and you know, a large bulk of them in the fall because of football, of course. So football, men's soccer, women's soccer, volleyball, they've been back since August 1st. We have our first home football game tomorrow, 7 o'clock at Victory Field. So, you know, everybody's out at the stadium. There's a buzz.
Who are you playing?
We are playing Northern American University from Houston.
Ooh.
They're coming out hopefully to take an L. And, you know, we're excited to open up the season.
So we've got football, you've got all these, but you had a large change in coaches this year. So, so tell us about the process in finding your coaches.
Yeah, it's always makes for an interesting summer when you've got to hire 4 head coaches. And so men's and women's basketball, men's and women's golf, and football all turned over this summer after May 28th. And so it's been an interesting summer trying to find the right folks to step into those positions. You know, the first one we're going to get a chance to look at is Coach Wall. Coach Wall has been doing a great job. You're going to hear from him in a few minutes. But he's been part of the program as a defensive coordinator, steps into the head coach role, and we're ready for a really good season.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Basketball, men's and women's turned over.
Yeah.
I mean, that had to be a surprise.
Yeah, it was. You know, Tim Hayes with women's basketball, he moves on to Colorado as one of the assistant coaches. Yeah. You know, he was at Southeastern 6 years, and you know, with the record that we had over that 6-year span, I'm kind of surprised we kept him for 6 years. Mm-hmm. You know, because we had, you know, a perennial national tournament team, Final Four, played for the national championship a couple years ago. Kevin Lubbers, you know, you know, sometimes you get that call. You know, you're always disappointed when you lose a good employee, but you know, when someone says, "Hey, it's for family reasons, I got to spend more time with my wife and kids," you know, you can't argue with that. You know, I support that. So I'm excited for him. He's in Colorado with his wife Ann and the kids, and you know, getting to know them again. You know, because the life of a coach is tough on the family. So happy that he gets to do that. Of course, football. You know, to find that out in the middle of June is a little bit late. But Coach Rivas is back in California. He had some health issues, and so we're definitely praying for him to get through that and return to the sidelines at some point somewhere. So.
And volleyball, this year, you're expected to do pretty well. So tell us about the volleyball club.
Yeah, volleyball returns a pretty young core. I mean, they were freshmen laden last year. Kept most of those kids as sophomores. They're coming back. So, yeah, they're always kind of on the bubble there. Volleyball is, and we expect them to turn the corner here and to do well in the Sun Conference.
Well, it's hard to believe, but you know, winter sports are going to be starting really quickly as well.
Yep.
So you have men's and women's basketball. What other winter spring sports do you have running at Southeastern this year? Well, you guys have just grown so fast. I can't keep up with it. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, we have wrestling, which I know is near and dear to your heart.
Yeah.
You know, wrestling. We had another national champion last year, Gage Braun, won the heavyweight national championship. The team finished in the top 5, finished 3rd. So we're excited about wrestling coming back. Men's and women's basketball, you know, always are competitive. I think the men are poised to really make a run into the national tournament. You know, then of course the spring sports. I mean, track and field was 5 points away in the men's track and field from winning a national championship. But baseball, you know, baseball won the national championship. They're our second in 4 years. Swept through Lewiston. You know, we lost to the host on the last day and were pushed to the if necessary game, but won that over 2 days because there was a rain situation, a lightning situation. But you know, really impressed with that team. They went 59-4 last year.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And another national championship. So very excited about that.
I gotta say, if there's a coach that you have to really keep a hold of, current coach is accepted from this. Keep a hold of you as well. But Coach Dinkle is, I mean, what he has done with that baseball team year after year after year, keeping them in contention every year. It's amazing.
Yeah, Coach and his staff do a great job of recruiting and bringing players in who are ready to go. He was the National Coach of the Year last year. Rob Adams, National Pitcher of the Year. Brian Fuentes hit 5 homers in the World Series. He was on fire. So that's always fun to watch when people work so hard to see that success bear out on the field. Speaking of track and field, I do want to mention this because it's county related. We're going to partner with Polk County School District to renovate the track at Tenorock. And so we're sharing the costs on that. We have a national caliber track and field team without a home. So we're traveling all over the county to practice. We go to George Jenkins, to All Saints, just practicing wherever we can find time. And that's tough on the kids. They're coming, they're leaving class, they're coming back for dinner. But we're really excited to get in this venture with Polk County. Dan Talbot's been great to work with. And we're going to see that project start hopefully in November here. So very excited about that.
Let's jump back to recruiting a little bit. I know Polk County itself is a hotbed of virtually any sport. I mean, it's just a lot of talent here. But, part of your success has been able to open up that window and say, look, there's a lot of talent, not only in the state of Florida, but, throughout the country. Where are your hot spots for different sports, or is that a secret?
Well, it's probably more secret, we can't give that away. But really the secret is getting the right people. The right people who build those relationships, who take advantage of the hot spots in the state. And a difference at Southeastern is we're a Christian university. And so, our coaches are asked to be selective about the kids that we bring in. And so that's an added challenge for our coaches because they're not, they can't just go out there and just, cast the net and bring anybody in. They've got to be selective about character and those things. So I give our coaches a lot of credit because we've really, we had 8 sports, 130 athletes back in 2011. And we've got 19 sports, over 500 athletes now. So in order to grow that way, you've got to have great people. And our coaches do a tremendous job of recruiting the kind of kids we want and just finding success. And really, the kind of kids we want, just to get into that just a little bit is not, we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for kids who are looking to grow not only on the football field, on the basketball court, but grow in character. And there's a lot of kids out there who want that. And so I give our coaches a lot of credit for bringing those kids in and then putting them all together to build something special.
Well, your career spanned a decade now, 10 years. And the year before you took over, you had, what'd you say, 11 sports or something like that?
8, yeah.
8 sports,
yeah.
Okay. In 2011, there's the 11.
Yeah.
When you look at the growth, that's not normal. That's pretty phenomenal. And it's obviously made a difference to Southeastern. It's opened the door for a lot of different opportunities and so on and so forth. Do you all the successes you've had, do you think that diversifying, it's got to be a challenge because it's easier to focus in on 8 sports than it is on double that.
Right.
What kind of a strain or pressure have you had trying to balance the two?
Well, I would say, if you're going to grow from 8 to 19 and 130 to over 500, it's got to have administrative support. So from Dr. Ken Engel on down, my boss, Dr. Chris Owen, they invest in athletics. But the strain is on the staff. We are not staffed, with this army of people. And so, to have a national NAIA National Athletic Director of the Year in BJ Giza, National Sports Information of the Year Director of the Year in Donnie Smith. Those people are working real hard to service and to really walk alongside of our student athletes and to make this department one of the best in the country. And so I'm proud of our staff because they, when you grow, and our staff has grown, but if you ask any athletic director, we're always going to say we need more people. Yeah. And so to have the people that we have, we're just really blessed.
Well, that's where it starts. And obviously, pulling that and putting, a staff of very talented, skilled coaches together with a Christian focus. Has been a remarkable run, and a decade of that for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.